Hello everybody, it's Articulation here, and welcome finally to my review of the SH Figuarts Deku. Alright, this is gonna be a weird-ass review, guys. To be honest, I don't even know what my plan is for this review. I'm just gonna wing it. So, if you guys have seen my community post on this, the reason I haven't uploaded in like a week is because I got this guy in the mail, and he broke. He broke immediately. On my very, literally 5 seconds out of me getting at him out of the box. And this is that same figure. I just boxed him up and put him away, because it was a super-duper stressful month. Still, it's getting a little better, but, yeah, I'm getting a little bit better. You know, I've been watching a lot of great anime recently. That's been making me feel better. Checked out the first episode of Sakamoto Days. Started watching the Ranma 1/2 remake on Netflix. That's really good, guys. And I also finally watched Prison School, which was an experience. Really great and fun show, but not for everybody, I'll say. Do your research before checking that one out, but I loved it. But I'm just gonna go about this, and what I'm gonna do with this is I'm going to kind of hold off saying any subjective opinion on this figure until the final thoughts. That's the idea I came up with. I think that's my best opportunity to make a good review of this thing. There's a lot to this figure, man. And I know it's been super duper highly regarded in the, a lot of people absolutely love the thing. People are saying it's one of their favorites of all time. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I have a pretty negative opinion on this figure right now, so. And it's not just for the breakage. I think this figure is actually a little, disappointing. And we will get into that. We will go over everything that I want to talk about, so. Let's do this, my review of SH Figuarts Deku, aka Izuku Midoriya. Let's start off with the packaging. I think the packaging is pretty decent. I've heard a lot of people weren't really feeling it, but I do kind of like the stylized My Hero Academia packaging right here. You got My Hero Academia, Bandai Namco. You got a nice picture of the figure right there. Bandai, Tamashii Nation seal of approval. Deku with some very interesting looking right there, but it looks really good. SH Figuarts right there. Right here, you can see made in Vietnam. I want you to keep that in mind. On the side, you have a nice picture of Deku right there. MHA. Izuku Midoriya, SH Figuarts. On the back of the box, you have a whole bunch of product shots showing the figure in all the poses that you can get him into, or should be able to get him into. On the side, you get a really nice, similar to the One Piece packaging, where you got, the cuts of all the faces right there, looking really cool. I definitely do dig that. Yeah, package looks pretty good, in my opinion. Alrighty, and here is SH Figuarts Deku out of the packaging. And out of the packaging, you do have to attach the scarf, Gran Torino's cape right here separately. So you just come over here to the back, and you just plug it in right there. Pretty darn easy. And there he is, and he looks absolutely fantastic. As you can see, it is the Season 7 outfit, which I have no problem with because Season 7 is my favorite season of the show, and it does look very nice. Getting in here on the details, head sculpt looks phenomenal, and I think this looks 100 times better than the amazing Yamaguchi one perfectly. Personally, I like the likeness to the character a lot more on this one. I really like the shading in the green right there for the hair. Looks awesome. The little freckles right there, underneath his eyes right there. Mouth looks great. Nose looks great. It is a little bit shiny, but no big deal. I still think it looks really awesome. Absolutely love it. Ears back here, nicely sculpted. The head in general, really nicely done. You can see it is a little bit interesting how they did it because it's got only black right here and then only green up here. But when you look at it from the front, it looks super duper good. From the back, yeah, it looks all right. But when you look at it from the front, it looks super duper good. Yeah, I really like the head sculpt, honestly. The head sculpt is absolutely phenomenal. And then moving down to the scarf piece right there, and of course his little mask section right there of his costume. You can't move any of this. This is all stuck like this. This is just how it has to be with Gran Torino's cape right here. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. If it's just an actual cape or scarf, then I apologize. But I think it's Gran Torino's cape, right? But yeah, really cool. You can see the nice little buttons over here on the side right there. And again, I do really like that you can see the mask right there. It's very nicely done with that nice metal gray right there. And you can kind of have him coming, you can kind of have his mouth tucked behind the mask right there, which does look really cool. And then you have the cape right there, really nicely done on the wrinkle work right there and the sculpting. I actually really like it, especially since you have it on a joint right there. It does allow, even though it's a very simple sculpt and joint, it does allow for some really awesome poses right there for that. So I really love that. Moving down to the outfit, of course, it is the Season 7 outfit. So you got these nice little orange pieces right there, looking really, really good. I really, really love this outfit. Definitely my favorite outfit that he's ever had, I think. It just looks the most aesthetically pleasing. I'm not a huge Deku fan. I should say that before we continue here. Never been a big fan of this character. Actually, at one point, I was a big fan of this character, but right now, I'm really not a big fan of this character, and it's one of the only things that I feel My Hero really needs to do in Season 8 is make me care about Deku again, because, yeah, he's probably the weak link of the show for me right now. But getting back to the sculpting right there, the arms look really, really great. You can see the nice, like, red part of the arms right there, and then the Air Force gloves right there look really, really, really awesome. That's, of course, to enhance his ability to do the flick moves right there. Is something that is the first time we've seen this in a Deku action figure. This has not been on the Amazing Yamaguchi. The hands look really, really good. You got the little sections right there for the black whip to come out right there. Nice green right there for the inside of the gloves right there. Really, really awesome. The nice orange stripe around that band right there. And I really, really like the orange going all around the figure right there. Moving down to his belt right there, looking really, really awesome. You can see all the pouches right here. These are actually on individual, like, things. They can actually, like, rotate, which is kind of fun right there. And then at the back, you have the big old pouch right there where he probably keeps his keys and his wallet and shit. And then you have the buckle right there for the front right there. Looks really, really good. It is a floating piece, but it does sit in place very, very nicely. I will say a lot of people have reported that he falls apart at the waist, but mine is actually perfectly fine in that. He does not fall apart at the waist right there. It's actually a little bit tighter than I think it is on some other copies right there. So that's pretty nice on my copy. And then there's this, which we'll get to in a second here. Moving down to the legs, I really, really love the legs, actually. I think the legs are my favorite part about the figure right there, because he has these massive, look at his freaking shoes right here. These are absolutely insane. And this is like the easiest SH Figuarts to stand up ever. Like, this dude can stand up no matter what you do. He could probably balance on one foot. Hang on. Watch this. I bet you he can balance on one foot. There you go. He just has these massive shoes, man. They're really, really awesome. And I love the metal right here for the leg section right there. The shoes look really, really great. The shoelace right there, a little bit messy on the paint there, but not a big deal. Again, I love the steel toe shoes. He's not the most expensive figure, by the way. His retail price is only, I think, $65, which is a little cheaper than your average SHF, actually. Most of them are usually go from like $75 to $80. So $65 for this guy is an interesting price for him. But of course, we're going to go over all of that at some point in the video, because I have to talk about some stuff with him. But yes, a beautiful job on the, like I said, I really, really love the legs. I really love the feet as well. The feet look awesome. Now for the articulation, he of course has a ball joint at the head right there, so he can look up a really, really good amount. He can look down a really good amount, like super, really good. And I know that some people wanted this to be on a ball joint, but honestly, I really like the fact that it stays perfectly in place, because on the Amazing Yamaguchi one, he has the mass piece right there, and it's connected to the hood, but it pops out so damn easily. And by the way, he does have the hood, but it's a lot more like, you know, it's a lot more minimalist than it is on the Amazing Yamaguchi, which I really, really like. I really like that he has that really nice hood just hanging down right there. And of course, you can just put the scarf, which will cover that up right there, which is really, really cool. But yeah, head movement is really, really good. You also have some tilt right there. Super duper nice. For the arms right there, they can go up a really, really, really good amount right there. And then you have, of course, the double jointed bend right here at the elbow. And he does get a really good amount of movement right there. Not a full double jointed bend, but it's mostly just because of the Air Force glove right there. It still is really, really, really nice. Now, for the hand, we're going to go over to this hand for me to do this, because this hand on my copy is broken, but on this hand right here, you can see you have the hinge right there, and it can go up and down. And there's a ball joint at the base of the Air Force glove as well, so it can also rotate up and down like that as well. And then, of course, you have that hinge right there. Be super careful with those, however, because like I said, this one on my copy is completely broken. It's, you can look at my community post if you want to. Right now, this is just totally super glued in place, but yeah. It is broken, but yeah, go check my community post if you want to see it, because I'm not going to be popping this hand off at any point in this video, because I literally can't. I've super glued this whole thing in place. This hand cannot move anymore. So yeah, moving down to the torso right here. The torso is actually really good. So you actually have some really decent butterfly posability right there. There's actually a dedicated butterfly joint right there for that section right there, which is absolutely awesome. I really, really, really love that. And then for the torso, this is actually super nice as well, because a lot of SHFs recently may have been struggling with the torso movement. So he's got a ball joint at the base right here, which gives you, you know, a decent amount right there, but he's got some extra engineering in the waist right here that allows him to get a ton of crunch right there, which is really nice. They did pull off a lot of the stops for this figure, which is super duper commendable right there. And you can see the design of the thing right there. Obviously, you do have that gap right there, but you could probably cover it up with the pouch if you kind of finagle it a little bit right there. And it looks super duper good and allows for so much great posability right there. Really, really, really nice. Moving down to the legs, you have a really good amount of movement in the leg right there, so it can go fully up and fully back as well. The butt does not get in the way whatsoever. You, of course, have your typical SH Figuarts ball joint right here, so you've got like the side to side right there. Double jointed bend at the knee, and that's all the amount you can get back right there. Can't quite kick his own ass, but still super duper awesome right there. And then the feet can go up a ton, down a ton, ankle pivot, and a beautiful toe joint right there. Alright, now before we jump into comparisons on this guy, I want to talk about the plastic quality. So, as we talked about earlier in the video, his box says made in Vietnam right there. A lot of people have kind of seen that the figures that say made in Vietnam are a little bit weaker in plastic quality than the others. I believe this is all that the same thing applied with the first Guts, and I think some of the early One Piece figures as well. Now, don't quote me on that. I could be wrong about this. I haven't done any huge amount of research on this, but this one does clearly say made in Vietnam. And if I pull out some other SH Figuarts boxes from some very, very amazing figures that are highly regarded by pretty much everybody, you can see they say made in China right there. Made in China. I don't think I've ever gotten an SH Figuarts that said made in China that wasn't great in terms of plastic quality and everything. Getting to Deku's plastic quality. His plastic quality honestly does not feel bad. If I bring in Naruto here, Naruto feels a little bit heavier than Deku, and that is definitely an interesting thought because of how much skinnier he is compared to Deku right there. And Deku is also more built out as well, and somehow Naruto does kind of feel a little bit heavier, not to mention he's also a $35 figure, so it's very interesting to me that he does feel a little bit heavier. And when it comes to the joints on him, a lot of people have said that that he feels a little bit more oily than other figures. I personally don't have that. He feels 100% perfectly fine in my hands right there. I've also seen some people say that they're getting stress marks in the torso right here and back here as well. I'm not seeing any of that, although maybe, no, I'm not really seeing any of that, but I've barely posed this figure at all, so do keep that in mind. But yes, some people have reported seeing, after posing him around a bunch, they've reported stress marks right here. Not to mention, of course, some people have also reported the looser joints, and I will say overall, compared to somebody like Naruto here, his joints are a lot looser than Naruto's. Naruto's are perfectly tolerant. His are a little bit looser than you would probably want them to be right there. Arms aren't that big a deal. It's more of the torso and the legs that are the problem childs right here. But again, I don't think they're so loose to the point that they're actually a horrible negative for the figure. They're definitely looser than your average SH Figuarts. You can see here, I'm applying pretty much the exact amount of pressure as I did with Deku right there, and his legs are taking a lot more effort to move compared to Deku right here. So yeah, it's a much, yeah, you can see the joints are a lot looser on this Deku. But the biggest thing are definitely the hands. The hands on this figure are so ridiculously tight. These are so unbelievably tight. And I've seen damn near everybody say the same thing about their figures. The hands on this figure are just ungodly tight. And the second I got my figure out of the packaging and I messed around with them a little bit and was like, damn, this is fucking awesome. And I went to pop off this hand. The very first time I did it, it broke. It broke immediately. To all you people saying you should have heated up the joint, you should have put it in hot water, I didn't have a chance. It broke immediately. That the pegs, the plastic on the pegs is insanely brittle. I'm telling you this already broke, and this is already feeling like it's going to break. It does not seem like this is long for this world at all. I'm even kind of seeing some wear on this joint as well, right over here as well. So it's just, it's designed inherently flawed. I have no idea why they decided to make the hands so ungodly tight on this figure. And I do think it's going to be a problem. I think a lot of more people, aside from me, are going to get this figure, and they're going to break the hands because they're just not designed very well. And it baffles me because this figure is really, really, really nice in just about every aspect. And it seems like they pulled out all the stops. They gave it this extra torso posability right here and all of that. And then, like, they gave it to the Vietnam factory, and the joints feel like lesser quality than some of the better SH Figuarts. You would think that this line that was so hotly anticipated and they went all out on, you would think that they would have continued to go all out on it. They would give it to the best company. They would have them make it the best it could possibly be. Like, completely, like, make this on the same level as the Naruto figures or the JJK figures. But they had to, like, cheap out on the quality, on the plastic quality. The hands breaking immediately is unforgivable. And in general, the figure being a little bit looser than your average SH Figuarts, I know some people prefer their figures to be a little bit looser than me. I want my figures to be, like, as tight as possible. In my opinion, the joints should be completely immovable unless you are moving them. I don't understand why anybody would want their figures to move, like have any joints actually move on them without them actually grabbing it. If you take Naruto here and you shake him around, you can see he's like solid as a rock. Nothing is happening. You take Deku, you can see the legs are kind of jiggling right there. If we bring him right here, that leg is kind of jiggling right there. If you grab him by the head here, I mean, that's not probably, good. Arms and all that. Like, he just doesn't feel as solid. He doesn't feel as quality. Even the plastic on the face, we talked about how it looked kind of glossy earlier, but look at it compared to Naruto. Naruto's is matte, looks way more premium than Deku. And this face came from a $35 Naruto figure. It's like they went all the way to make this figure the best it possibly could be, and then decided at the last minute to cheap out. Now, I will say this figure, technically, it could be construed as my fault that the hand broke, because I didn't immediately warm it up or anything. I don't think to do that. I've never had to do that in the past. I've collected well over like 50 SH Figuarts. I have never in my life had to worry about the hand, like, immediately. Maybe after a few changes you have to do something about it, but never instantaneously. It was literally the first switch where this hand broke. I don't know about you guys, but I don't immediately take my figure out of the package and then immediately put the joints in hot water, especially since I like my joints nice and tight. I don't feel like that was my fault. Now, here's the thing. So, I got most of my money back for this figure. The seller was very kind and very understanding. And they gave me most of my money back for this figure, which they didn't have to do. Technically it was my fault that it broke. So I'm very, very, very thankful to the seller for letting me get most of my money back. And what I did was I put in a pre-order for another one of these off BBTS. So when the BBTS release comes out, I'll be getting another one of these and I'll get it for retail. And with that one, I'll be much more careful. I will try and fix the hands right out of the package and all that. But that does not change the fact that this is still inherently flawed design. There was no reason for the hands to be that tight. That's the one joint that shouldn't be that tight, because you wanted them to be able to be switched out very, very easily. If you make the hands super hard to switch out, it makes this figure less enticing to play with and pose. Regardless of it being a plastic or breakage problem, that's an inherent problem. Take, for example, Amazing Yamaguchi Todoroki. This figure has the most ungodly awful hands to switch out all time, but they're not broken. They still work perfectly fine on mine, but they're obscenely difficult to change out. Inherently bad design. Regardless of it being my fault or not that the hands broke, it's an inherently flawed design. Also, look at this. When I put him down, look at how much he wiggles. See that? Compared to Todoroki, nothing. Solid as a rock. Ichigo, solid as a rock. Nothing is even moving. Denji, solid as a rock. Nothing's even moving. This popped out because that's also an inherently flawed design, but still, nothing is moving. There's not a doubt in my mind that this figure is made of worse plastic than most SH Figuarts. And I just can't stress enough that I don't understand. Why did they go all out and then cheap out? Why? Because if it wasn't for these quality problems, this figure would be absolutely perfect. This figure would be rivaling the Naruto line for quality, especially if it were to continue that way with the other releases in the line. But as it stands right now, with the experience I've had with this figure, I'm pretty uninterested, honestly. I have no patience for quality like this. This is an SH Figuarts. It is a premium action figure. It is intended to be a premium action figure. It should feel like a premium action figure. All right, let's do some comparisons here. And here is SHF Deku compared to some other new-gen anime protagonists. And just look at how the plastic on him looks compared to every single other one of these figures. This is a $35 Tanjiro. Look how much better the plastic looks on this guy. Look how much how much better the face looks, how much better the torso looks compared to this guy where he's got the light just bouncing off. It looks so cheap, man. And it's a significantly cheaper figure over here. Same with Denji, looks and feels way better. And then this is a Figma Yuji Itadori. Figma gets a ton of shit for having terrible plastic and terrible quality. Still looks and feels better than this Deku. Next up for comparison, here he is with the amazing Yamaguchi Deku right here, which not a great figure by any means, but you can see how much better the plastic looks compared to him. Definitely way, way better. Joint tolerances and whatnot, and hefty. He does feel a little bit heavier than him. Not by as much as I was expecting him to, but he does have a little bit more going on in the outfit right there. But he does feel a little bit more pleasing to hold, and again, doesn't really wobble or anything when you put him down. Again, look how much he wobbles when you put him down like that. Does look 100 times better. I will say that they did re-release this figure with like the new engineering and everything, and apparently it was really, really, really good. So if you don't want to get the cheap Deku, then you could get the new amazing Yamaguchi one and have a much better feeling figure. And it's not a bad figure. It's got the lightning effects and everything, you know. Not bad. I do have a review on it, but it is like ancient, so I wouldn't really recommend checking it out. Very, very old. But yeah, it's up to you, but I don't know what to say, man. I mean, in every single way, I prefer the SHF except for the quality. And quality is a really, really, really big deal for me. So, I don't know. This is, the fact that I can't decide which of these I like better is insane to me. Like, this looks 1,000 times better. But I still can't decide if I like it better than this. And that is a really bad sign. And here he is with the amazing Yamaguchi, Bakugo, and Todoroki, and I think he looks pretty darn good with these, so yeah, that is very, very nice, because that means you're going to be able to put him with your amazing Yamaguchi pros like Aizawa, although once again, Aizawa was never really in scale with the amazing Yamaguchis to begin with right there. And also your villains like Dabi here. Not 100% in scale, the head looks a little bit too big, but overall, still think it works pretty darn well. It does seem like maybe SHF was trying to make the scale a little bit off here so it wouldn't look like absolutely perfect with the amazing Yamaguchis to entice people to obviously go the whole way and buy all of the SH Figuarts, you know, change their whole collection to SH Figuarts, which, you know, is understandable, of course, but yeah, there's how he looks with some amazing Yamaguchis there. And one more amazing Yamaguchi figure comparison. Here he is with Uraraka right there. I'm not sure if the scale is 100% correct here. Uraraka is definitely supposed to be shorter than Deku, but I'm not sure if she's supposed to be this much shorter. But this is the best My Hero Academia figure I own by a country mile. I love this figure, and I just want to use this as another, like, I've said this multiple times in the past, but pegs are always going to be my preferred method of hands because they're just so much more, like, reliable. Like, you don't have to apply a ton of pressure to take them off, take them back on. It doesn't feel like they have any possible outcome of breaking compared to ball joints, which of course, I mean, I don't need to tell you, this shit's broken. Oh my god, this figure is so good. And last but not least, here he is with the SH Figuarts, Kurama Link Mode Naruto, and Shippuden Sasuke. Easily two of the best action figures I have ever owned in my life, and the reason I'm bringing them in is because this guy was literally inches away from these two levels. And with that being said, let's jump into the accessories. Starting off with the face sculpts, of course, you got that nice defiant face in the packaging, which I really, really, really like. Then we get a really nice smiling Deku face right here, really nice. I really love this one. This is the one I was displaying him with when I did have him out. And then you also have a really nice, like, super angry face right there. I do want to say that because of the way the faces switch out, it does look like he's got, like, a Megamind forehead going on right there. It's kind of funny. It looks even funny on this one because he's like, I can't see my forehead. Yeah, that's pretty good. And last but not least, you get a nice screaming face right here, looking really, really awesome. If you have the amazing Yamaguchi Shigaraki that they made, then you could definitely have a ton of fun with this face sculpt and recreating their fight. Not perfectly, of course, because that's not the look that he has when they fight in Season 7, but pretty close. And to switch out the faces, all you need to do is, of course, pop off the fringe right here, pop off the face, pop on whatever face you want to, and pop the fringe back on. Super easy, very, very nice. Now for the hands, of course, you've got fists on in the packaging. And of course, you get a nice splayed out hands in the packaging right here. I will say I did dig, I think this one out. I think I did dig both of these out a little bit with a knife to make them easier to switch right there. So yeah. And then you also have these hands right here, kind of relaxed, kind of cupping, but they look fine. I think, yeah, I did dig that one out, not this one, because obviously I can't switch that hand at all. I will show if it does break, then whatever. It'll just prove my point that this figure's plastic quality is abysmal. But, oh God. Look, guys, look how much, like, stress gets applied to that joint every time that you want to switch that. Look at that. It's, like, splitting right now. You see that? Look at that. It's, like, permanently damaged like that. Like, it can never be, like, actually fully together. There's a little gap in there just for always now. And, guys, I don't have a hairdryer right now, so I can't really, I could put them in hot water, but let me just... Gosh, Jesus, fuck, dude, that's terrifying. Why? Why did you feel the need to make his hands have the same grip as a fucking Karen on the manager's throat? This is absurd, dude. It's fucking horrible. I will say that this hand is a lot, like, since I dug these hands out a little bit, they are a lot easier to switch. They go on and off, and I wanted to show you guys that, but fucking Christ, man, this is so on there. This is 100% gonna break if I pop this off. Fucking horrible design. And it sucks because on top of all these hands, you also get a sick as fuck black whip hand right here. This looks so sick, right? Really love this. I'll put a picture on screen of a pose I got him in with this. Yeah, like one of the very first things I did with him when I got him out of the packaging. He was broken in this picture, by the way, just saying, he was broken. But yeah, really, really beautiful job right here on this. I think he's coming with some more black whip effects in that accessory pack. I'm not even sure I'm gonna be continuing with the line, so I don't know if I'll even get to experience that. But yeah, really, really nicely done. But of course, I'm sorry, I can't get this hand off. It's gonna break. 100% it's gonna break. So yeah, unfortunately I can't really show this on it, but again, I'll put a picture on screen. And last but not least, you get two alternate fringes where his hair is being blown up, and on this one, he's got the full cowling effects coming out of the eyes right there, which is really, really cool. And what you can do with that, you can pop on one of these angry faces right there, and then pop on that right there, and it goes around the eyes right there, which is really, really, really awesome right there. So yeah, that looks super duper awesome. But with that being said, let's jump into the final thoughts. So final thoughts on the SH Figuarts Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku. My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined. This figure is inches away from one of the best SH Figuarts that has ever existed. It's pretty much perfect in every single way aside from its quality. The quality is fucking horrible. Like, I knew it was bad before I sat down to make this review, but as I've gone through this review, I have realized just how shitty the quality is on this figure. And it's for that reason that, honestly, I can't recommend it. I cannot recommend you pay. Definitely don't pay the eBay prices for him right now like I did. But is he worth like 65 bucks? I mean, if you fix the hands, not fix the hands, if you be more careful with the hands, if you, the second you get him out, heat the hands up, or whatever you gotta do to make sure the hands are not gonna break on you, if you wanna do that, 65 bucks, I guess, is not bad. Like I said, I am gonna get another one for 65 bucks, so, and I'm gonna be a lot more, honestly though, do I have any interest in continuing this? Honestly, I don't, because if he's this quality, then it's pretty likely that the others are going to be this quality as well. I might wait for other reviews to come out of the next releases before I get them instead of getting them immediately, because I'm so disappointed with this. It has all the makings to be one of the greatest action figures in my entire collection, and it totally shit the bed. Seriously, I could praise so many fucking things about this. I love the articulation. I love how the sculpting looks. I love the feet. I think the feet are amazing. It has so much posability. They stand up so freaking well. Love the extra engineering in the torso right here. Love this face accessory with the full cowling effects right there. Love how they did the scarf right here. This is absolutely awesome. It's so simple and yet so damn effective. Love the Air Force things. Love that you have the ball joints on the Air Force, like bracelet pieces right there. I love that extra posability right there. That's absolutely awesome. The double jointed elbows are great. Love the dedicated butterflies right here. This accessory is super cool. The fact that once you get the accessory pack, you're gonna have even more options is super duper cool. Like, everything about this figure was like set up for perfection. And then they just shit the bed on the quality. And look, if you still love this thing, if you have no problems with it, if you think I'm an idiot and you think my review sucks, I'm sorry, I guess this will just have to be like a weak link, but I'm not gonna lie just to make people happy. I'm not happy with this figure at all. I have, in every review, in pretty much every review, maybe I've missed it a few times here and there, but I always talk about plastic quality because in my opinion, it is very, very, very important, and I do not feel like enough people bring it up. And this is the antithesis of that, because I've seen multiple reviews of this, people singing it to the high heavens, and they don't even mention the plastic quality. And again, that's the only problem, but it's such a massive problem, it ruins the whole figure for me. Because in every way, this figure had all the makings to be one of the best SH Figuarts releases of all time, and then they totally fumbled it. So there you have it. That's my review. If you still love the figure, that's wonderful. I'm super happy with you. If you have none of the problems that I do, that's wonderful. I'm happy for you, but I'm so disappointed in this thing. I don't know. I don't know why they decided to phone in the plastic quality. I don't know why they decided to go all in on this figure and then just totally phone in the quality, man. So there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, maybe give me a like, subscribe for some more SH Figuarts reviews in the future. Like I said, when it comes to the rest of the line, I'm going to wait and see other people's reviews before I go in on them because I do not want to repeat this again because this was miserable. This was a miserable experience. I was so hyped for this figure. I got it out. It immediately broke. And then not only that, it happened to be in a super duper stressful month. And then for like 3 days straight, I got nothing but people commenting, oh, why didn't you put it in water? Why didn't you heat it up? Yeah, miserable fucking experience. And this is literally a hobby. There is no excuse for having an experience this miserable for buying an action figure, for spending my own hard-earned money on a fucking action figure. So, yeah, I might sit this one out. But thank you all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And this is D.A. Guillotine, signing out.